Welcome back, everyone. My next guest is Amy Stark Post. She spent her life trying to understand herself. And as a wife and mother, she put all of her wants and needs on the back burner to raise her children like many other moms. Her children are now adults, no longer need her like they did when they were young. As a professional executive assistant in corporate America, Amy spent many years working extremely hard to help provide for her family and make a name for herself with her husband of 29 years. But it wasn't until she was separated and ultimately divorced that she realized something was missing from her life. A journey of self reflection helped her discover herself and the vivacious, spirited woman who had been hiding for years. Her side business, Resilient, was initially created using crafts as her outlet to express herself. Now, Amy chooses to share part of her story in hopes to help other women find their true identities and sense of purpose. Still the same name, Amy's business is connecting with those women through multiple platforms and opening their eyes through their own resilience. Amy recently published a collaborative book, Shine Your Light, reached the Amazon bestseller list in 7 different categories when it was launched. Amy is proof that you can do anything you put your mind to. Welcome to the show today, Amy.
Hi there, how are you? Thank you for
Yes,
having me.
thank you so much for being here. So, yeah, I bet a lot of women can relate to you that they've discovered they're in a place and they discovered that they put their all everyone else's needs ahead of their own, and all of a sudden then you come to a point where you don't even really know who you are and what you want and what you like and what your needs are and what you want. So
Absolutely.
right, is that what happened to you?
It did. It did. I sort of lived vicariously through my children. They both played sports. We traveled with their sports, and I kind of just delved into their life full force. Really not thinking about what I wanted, what I liked, and it wasn't until they were grown, and you look around and you think, well, they don't need me anymore. Now what? So you add in the mixture of getting a divorce, and this was right at the beginning of the pandemic. So I lived alone in an apartment, and it was, it was lonely, it was quiet, but it also gave me an opportunity to reflect. And although I was a Christian before, it gave me an opportunity to really pray, really seek guidance, really try and figure out what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. And I spoke to a group of women recently and found that it's not just the idea that you go through something traumatic. You don't have to go through a divorce or something major in order to feel this way or in order to feel like you don't have an identity. So I wanted to encourage women, even the younger women getting married, starting a life or whatnot, encourage them to also, if there's something that you enjoy doing, whether it's knitting or kayaking or any of those things, to keep that and find time to do that when you're raising your kids or starting your family or continuing your career, trying to grow your career. Keep that special thing that sparks something in your soul, because you lose yourself. You lose yourself not just raising your kids, but also building your career and things like that. So I think it's a message for women of all ages, whether you're starting out and you're getting married, or whether you've been in a long marriage and things are going awry, or whether you're just reaching a retirement age and thinking, okay, what am I going to do with myself? I got married at a very early age. I had my children really young, which I'm grateful for. And raising them there was no greater joy. I had wonderful, wonderful kids. Um, but that also put me in a position where I hadn't experienced a whole lot. I hadn't really traveled. I didn't know what I enjoyed. I didn't know what I liked. So the moment I became their mom, it was what they needed, what they wanted, what they liked. And I just, lived vicariously through them.
Wow. So now you are a writer, you are a speaker, you are an empowerer of women, you're speaking to women and you're helping women. Do you do one-on-one sessions with women as well, or is it just speaking to groups?
Right now, it's just speaking to groups. I haven't branched out. Our book just came out a couple of months ago, so it's really new. Taking that and using that kind of as a platform to speak to other women right now in just groups. I have not developed that. I'm still in corporate America and have been for a little over 35 years. So I'm still doing the day-to-day grind and whatnot. So this is kind of something that speaks to my heart and that I want to continue to do and maybe leave corporate America at some point.
Yeah, I totally can see you leaving corporate America. I just see you being a speaker, having your book, talking about this message, but you have to have something on the back end to give them, to enroll them into. They'll get the book, but something to bring them into, because that is an incredible way to, build your network, right? And
Absolutely.
you are a wonderful speaker, by the way,
Thank
because
you. Thank you.
yeah, you definitely are a wonderful speaker. You had me on the edge of every word, which means that, you are, yeah, you're a good speaker. So what is it that you want to say to the listener that's listening right now, um, that might feel stuck, or that might feel,
If you're feeling stuck, I think, which is kind of where I was when I first moved into my apartment, if you're feeling stuck, Um, some of the things that helped me at the time, I took a lot of long walks. I listened to a lot of music. I just kind of looked around at things that I was grateful for and just kind of started from there. I'm grateful not just for this, but for that. Or I'm grateful that I get to see this great scenery. I'm grateful, it's just kind of an attitude of gratitude. And that's kind of how I started on the process of getting unstuck and also healing my heart. When I started at that point, I was really hurt. I was really lost. Got married when I was 19 years old. I was nearing 50 now,
mhm.
and I didn't know what to do. So you start kind of from there and finding that inner peace, finding what brings you joy. That's when I started crafting a little more and coming up with things that ignited my soul.
Yeah. So do you feel like now that you have, because you mentioned in your bio that you help women discover their identity.
Mm,
Do you feel that now you know more of who you are and what's important
absolutely,
to you? Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Um, it's great to have that feeling of going from this place of being lost, the place of not having a purpose or feeling like you are significant, to feeling like, now you're able to counsel some of your friends going through a divorce, or now you're able to speak to women and kind of give them an opportunity to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You can shine your light, so to speak, as the book is called. And it gives you an opportunity to work with other people, encourage them, and know that you're going to get through this on the other side.
Yeah, I think that's really, really great. A lot of, again, I think one of our purposes, we have, a lot, but one of our main purposes, is to discover who it is that we are,
Absolutely.
right? And to connect with who we are and know who we are, not who our society or our conditioning or who we thought we were.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, so that's really great. Tell us the name of your book and where people can find it.
The name of the book is Shine Your Light. It's the third book of a series by the Light Beamers community. The other two were Elevate Your Voice and Step Into Your Brave. You can get all three of them on Amazon. And the proceeds on Amazon go to kiva.org. So all of
Oh,
the proceeds from all three books go to help other women start businesses that can't get traditional loans. Each book is a collaborative book, and they have multiple authors in them. There's a total of 33 women that made up these three books. So Shine Your Light is on Amazon currently.
yeah, that's so awesome. That's so great. Wow. And what about your social media handles? Should people look you up on social media as well?
Absolutely. I go by Amy Deanne, and my name is spelled Amey and Deanne, and that's both on Facebook and on Instagram. And then my business is Resilient, RESILIENT because I'm here in Texas.
Excellent. Well, Amy, I think it's wonderful what you're doing. I certainly would love to speak with you again and have you on another podcast where we can have a longer discussion. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I just have one final word with, do you have a theme for the year? Do you have a word for the year? Do you have a word for the month?
I do have a word for the year, and I noticed a lot of people posting that on social media. Mine is consistency. Consistency in reaching out to people, consistency in posting, consistency in all areas of my life. So my word for the year is consistency.
Excellent. It's very inspiring. I love that word too, is being consistent. And again, one of our previous guests, her word was trust. Well, when we're consistent, we can trust more. We
Absolutely.
trust ourselves more, we trust each other more, and that's a beautiful way. So thank you for embodying that word and making that the word for the year. I want to thank you, and I'm going to have Ashley connect us again.